All right, Matt, if you were to walk down an alley in Rio Rancho, I'm sure you couldn't find anything as strange as our co-main event for UFC Rio Rancho, where we have, now his nickname's the Nightmare, Diego Sanchez, taking on Dinamite, Michel Pereira. Matt, this fight is all kinds of strange. I mean, at this point, we have the power of thunderstorms and crystals powering Diego Sanchez, and we have ghosts of Capoeira's past powering Michel Pereira. And sometimes they tell him to do, you know, Superman punches off the cage, moonsaults off the cage, illegal stomps off the cage, weird things off the cage. And for Diego Sanchez, all of a sudden he's beating Thundercat, Craig White, and Mickey Gall, and then he's losing to Michael Chiesa, which makes every bit of sense, because all of a sudden Michael Chiesa is beating Rafael dos Anjos. Matt, this fight is all kinds of weird, and I've said that time and time again, but this is the perfect fight for one of these guys. Explain it.
So both guys win how the other guy loses, if that makes any sense whatsoever. If Diego Sanchez is going to lose, he's going to get knocked out, especially in this part of his career. It's weird, because what's Michel Pereira really good at, other than doing backflips on his way to the cage?
Knocking people out. And let me say this. So Michel Pereira looked great in his debut against Hot Chocolate Danny Roberts. And we went out there and said, hey, this guy's going to win. And people said, hey, you're crazy. And then he won. And then we said, Michel Pereira is going to beat Tristan Connolly. And everybody said,
we don't want to talk about that one.
And then they roasted us over the fire at the end of it. And hey, you're fair to do that. Go ahead. Matt, out of 634 votes on Tapology, 70% of voters are saying Michel Pereira is going to win. And of them, 83% are predicting a knockout. But, and there's a big but here, did you watch Michel Pereira's last fight? He got out grappled by a guy on very short notice who was, yes, he was deserving of maybe a shot on Contender Series or maybe a call-up to the UFC, British Columbia's own Mr. Tristan Connolly. But Diego Sanchez does what Tristan Connolly does, only a little bit better to the nth degree. What do you expect here?
So Diego Sanchez does everything Tristan Connolly does for the most part, but his weaknesses are more exaggerated, but also so are his strengths. Tristan Connolly was able to eat quite a few really hard shots from Michel Pereira in their fight, and that was a huge reason. He kind of outlasted that early storm and then grinded him out throughout the fight. Diego Sanchez is going to have to do the same thing. I'm just not as confident in his chin to be able to get through that early flurry and then make it into that second and third round. I know it sounds like I'm going to pick Diego Sanchez off that. You know what? I'm flip-flopped as we've been making this video. Diego Sanchez is going to win a decision. I do think he's going to be able to get through that first burst. I know Michel Pereira was like, hey, I'm still going to do my backflips and stuff. Like, I just lost one fight. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to say Diego Sanchez is going to grind to a decision. I'll be surprised if it happens, though, but I do think it is the likely outcome.
Matt, I've never felt less confident in a pick in my life.
There's no confidence
Diego Sanchez's last three finishes were to Matt Brown, Ala Quinta, and Joe Lozon. But I'm going to pick Michel Pereira. You know what? And if he disappoints me here, I'm never going to pick him again. But listen, you're not going to want to miss the rest of our UFC Rio Rancho predictions, the main card, the prelims, the 5-minute main event prediction, which we are getting into next. Follow along there. And as we always say, Matt, Fight Night Picks, let's get into it.